Hello to you too, guys. How we doing? Yeah, I see some usual faces. As usual, as the word would imply. Yeah, good morning to you. That is indeed your time zone. Anyhow, we're doing week 5. CPL today, tier 0 again. Supply block party versus name didn't make. So we got a couple familiar names, but we haven't seen the tier 0s from name didn't make. Yeah, 44 out of 44 versus didn't make. It's a perfect matchup. Truly a classic. Now, starting with Eclipse first this time, so we're cycling through the maps. We've seen all of them at this point if you've been watching. So this is a nice spread of 2-player, 3-player, then 4-player. So good to see it. Yeah, good to see you guys. Alright, let's get this underway. First match, we're going to do Type 100 versus Push. This is going to be a PVZ or ZVP, pending your allegiance. Here we go. Top right, we have Push. Bottom left, we have Type 100. It's on Eclipse, so the 2-player map to start. We're going to have a TVT and a TVP today, so we might see the power of Eclipse for Protoss against Terran in this particular matchup. Or that particular matchup, rather. As far as the other matchups, this is a pretty good map. I've honestly had a lot of fun with it in the past. The pylon at the Nexus, so we're not seeing any cheese just yet. Overlord being made, so no early pool. We might see the pool go down when we reach near 200 minerals. Yep, saving the larva. Okay. So, a good choice on a 2-player map. Doing hatch first builds on 2-player map is a recipe for pain, since the probe can just body block you building it. And it's annoying, and it makes you feel bad. They can still do that with pool first builds, but you'll have the Zerglings out, so they'll be running scared very quick. And this is 2 gateways, so we're gonna see a 2-gate man. Zealot man incarnate here. Not super cheesy since he made it in his base. However, this is going to have a lot of aggression here. He might hide a pylon. Decides not to. It's actually... Given this build, I wouldn't mind hiding a pylon here and building like a shield battery or something. Then again, like the Zerglings are out, they would see it. Yeah, they did go to check. Not a very good check, but they checked. So, probably for the best not to build the pylon. Alright, getting chased down. Zerg wants his approximately 3 men at third base. It's not going down. This probe is still blocking it, but the probe is dying. Fails to deny there. And yet he sees. That's a lot of zealots this early. Here they go. Choosing to ignore it, he doesn't fear the zealots like I do. I fear them. Well, more zealots come out to push that back. You could theoretically get those legs in the base and start killing probes, but that is quite taxing on the multitask. This probe's almost dead. It'd be nice if he didn't lose it. That extra little damage helps to two-shot Zerglings with the Zealot. Otherwise, the Zealots take 3. Like, here we go. Wanting to get up on the ramp, bottleneck the Zerglings a bit. There are a lot, so this is ideal for him. Though, I would have... Oh, getting these two surrounded, that's not good. I was thinking if I was in this position, behind the minerals would be better if you're going to reinforce them. Now, more Zerglings being made. Lots of Zerglings. So we might see just the Zergling flood counterattack. Oh, there's 2 cannons, so he should be fine. We stop the aggression. It's gonna make a Nexus. You know, like, he made a lot of zealots here. Like, this is a bit of a overcorrection, I think. However, it's not an overcorrection if Zerg keeps making Zerglings, but he doesn't. He's making drones. So these Zerglings aren't going to be able to break this. No chance. Found up to 3 gateways that are not making anything. Sees the gas being taken, and Zerg should just be making drones from here on out. Unless... Okay, there's the layer, so see the spire soon. I was looking to see if there was going to perhaps be a Hydra den, and he's just getting enough drones. There's the spire. Enough drones to sustain 3-hatch Hydra production, but no. Choosing to go into a macro game. Ross, on the other hand, is looking pretty behind here. The tech is very delayed from that aggression that didn't really go anywhere. I was making more zealots. A reasonable probe transfer. Still making drones. With this many zealots, I would have liked them to see, or would have liked to see, rather, the zealots, you know, test the Zerg's metal instead of just hanging out, because there's a lot here. 7 zealots is no joke, with 3 gate production backing them up. They catch the probe. Because as long as Zerg knows these zealots are in this base, Zerg is free to drone. And is continuing to just make drones. You do have to just challenge Zerg sometimes. Well, he's wanting to go after the Overlord, you know, that's maybe... That's okay. Zerglings are gonna try and get in. No? He's gonna fight here and have all his guys just chill while watching. Still gets it and gets away pretty clean. Here's the mutas. 5 mutas out, the ideal number in this matchup. Could go more, could just stay on this and go straight all Hydra. The Hydra den is not yet seen, though. More mutas are going to be on the way. Well, here's the 5 mutas. There's 3 Dragoons here, so... Actually, that's enough Dragoons to fend off the mutas eventually, because it is a small amount of mutas, but the mutas will get damage here regardless. Actually, there's way more dragoons. He's making a lot of dragoons. This is a pure gateway man. Looks like gateway man here is going to attempt to bust the Zerg. And all the shots spread out rather evenly, so all the mutas live. Only on 6 mutas, not building anymore. No, is building more. Okay, so we're gonna see more mutas. An interesting choice seeing the heavy dragoon commitment. But there's still no Hydrodon, so we're all mutas here. He's gonna fight these dragoons in their small groups. You know, if all the dragoons are together, I would have definitely favored them, but there's only 6 here. 2 more on the way. 4 more sitting at home. I like to see just everything go. The Hydrodon is done, going to Lurker. Well, it's not gonna finish the Lurker, however. Okay, mutas engaging the dragoons. Dragoons are microwave. Zealots, you know, they're slow. They're getting killed off all the Sunkets and Hydras. You gotta wonder. Man, if all these things were over there, that might have gone a bit better. Webcam, you want to see insane facial expressions when crazy play happen? Oh, there's nothing really crazy going on. You only get the insane lip APM when I'm playing ladder. +1 attack for our Dragoon friends. Now finally going up to a higher gateway count, but I'd favor Zerg here. He's just taken very little damage, and Protoss's tech is, he's got Dragoons. Which a lot of Dragoons can do a lot of work, but there's nothing to stop these 6 mutas. I'm just idling here and preventing you from mining. As he stalls for his Hydra's upgrades. You know, I like the idea of the Gateway Man push, because that could really catch Zergs off guard. It is an all-in for the most part, but just a mass Gateway Man push really can do wonders. We've seen it before, after all. And Hydra deck gonna go down once again. The Hydras only have movement speed, no range. If only there were more gateways. Poor naked Dragoons aren't gonna survive this. They need support. Hydralists do full damage to Dragoons. That's why the Zealots are very effective, because their unit type is the small iteration. So they take 50% damage from the Hydra's explosive damage type. Since Dragoons are large, they take full from that. Well, throwaways the mutas. But that doesn't really matter too much. Zergling scouting is good. He's looking for sneaky bases. Finally built the Hydra dead in a safe place. Not gonna get picked off this time. Hey, thank you for the raid, Jiraiya. Hope you're doing well. The Protoss is not long for this world here. All Zerg just needs to consolidate an army and push, and Protoss is done. However, if Protoss is left to their own devices for a while, they can just skyrocket out of control. Is it actually going to double expand here? No, it's just a scouting probe. Okay. Trying to push up. Still has slow zealots. Realizes, man, that's a lot of stuff. Has to pull back so he's not finding the ramp, but there's a lot of Hydras here. No micro needed, just a move. The meme incarnate. And Protoss dies. GG's fault. Well then. Not the most refined Protoss build, but hey. We've seen the idea of Gateway Man Rush actually work well against Zerg. Usually a Citadel is involved, that is true. Now, Zealot legs is helpful, especially against Hydralis. Hydras with speed. If they were speed Zealots with all those Hydras who didn't have movement speed, that would have been... You know, maybe it would have turned things around a bit, but we'll see what happens in Game 2. It's on Dominator. The weird, but actually kind of standard map. Kind of funny how it works like that. Okay, in the... I don't know, 11 o'clock position, you have push, and in the 7, we have type 100. Now, I think type 100 is going to be pretty confident after that. Seen his play before. Pretty good. I've not seen push before yet. Is scouting the right direction. Well, as I was saying before the action kicked off in last game, I'm curious to see how the PvT matchup goes on Eclipse. It's a good map, it really is. It's just that one particular matchup is a bit Protoss favored. Or at least that's what most people believe. Probe scouting, the opposite base, not the right one though, but he'll find it. See, gateway in the main. This is gonna be another 2-gate. Seems likely. Right, see, going for the hatch first play here instead of the overpool. It's a 3-player map, so hatch first is, you know, a reasonable choice. But it's not a 4-player map, so the likelihood you'll get scouted by the probe early is still higher than a 4-player map, so... You know, if you go hatch first, you have a big potential to be blocked, so it's a small risk. It's not like the block is a incredibly massive deal, but it can add up if it's not dealt with appropriately. Yeah, we are going for the 2-gate again. I would like to see more aggression from this. Instead of last time, it was kind of passive. One thing to remember is hatcheries are Zerg's production buildings. So if you're going for a 2-gate, it's important you don't just ignore this hatchery at the natural and go into the main. Killing this is ideal. As much as the dream scenario of getting into the Zerg's mineral line and killing all their drones, also losing the probe right away, that's not great. 6 Zerglings easily beat a Zealot, so he's running back to group up with his friends, and, you know, the tides have turned. Zerglings backing off. Putting the hatchery here, not even putting down a sunken, no fear of the 2-gate at all. Very confident. Letting the Zealots get surrounded, this is not what you want. These are still slowlings, so could have escaped and rendezvoused with his reinforcements. Instead, the reinforcements gets in time, or gets there in time to see them all die. Yeah, Type 100, very confident here. The Nexus is going down. He sees this, so he knows that there's going to be a delay in a bit of the production of the Zealots. Circling speed's almost done. He's trying to fight these Zerglings when he doesn't have the Zealot count to deal with it. General rule of thumb is 4 Zerglings per Zealot. For Zerglings to win. If they have God tier micro, 3 Zerglings will do. Alright, catches up to the Zealots, but there's not enough Zerglings here this time. Too many of them bled off, so they have to fall back. Alright, going straight into only Zergling off of 3 hatches. I don't think our Protoss here is going to survive for much longer. It's all dependent on if this cannon stays alive. Losing the Zealots and the cannon is going to go down, so this looks like the end. Alas, poor Protoss. Oh, the probe is blocking a little bit. That could add up. Oh, the probe... Yeah. Yeah, it's all over. 3rd gateway being made, but there's nothing else going to be coming out of it because it's destroyed. Pylon and Forge go down. A cannon does get up before the Forge goes down, but... You know, there's not much to be done here. The Zerglings will keep flooding in. Only Zerglings. Like a certain website, but it's Zerglings. Yeah, GG's called. Alright. A little anticlimactic, but that's okay. Handled very well by Type 100. Very confident, smooth, didn't panic. Feel like one of the things against 2-gate is that it's very easy to panic and overreact or underreact to Zealots coming at you. Alright, next is going to be a TVT. Hey Vipers, hey Ninja, thanks for joining me. Hey Fucat. Hey Snarf. It's been a while since I've seen a TVT on Eclipse, but it's some good stuff. There's a lot of locations where you can set up nice siege lines and control certain corners of the map. And it's really one I feel that showcases where when you're ahead, you can be spread a little too thin. And your opponent can take advantage of that. On the 4-player maps, some of them, it's like a little too wide and open that you don't really get to see that as much. It's like, oh, well, they're just kind of sieged up in the middle of the field. So it's a bit harder, you know, maybe get a grasp of that. But on Eclipse, you can really see it. All right, here we go. Barks versus Kiko. Of course, we could always just get the classic TVT no rush 15, where they don't do anything for 15 minutes, and just build up. Anyway, we have Kiko in the top right, in the blue, Barks in the bottom left, in the red, doing that classic red versus blue, proper esport color. So I'm hoping this game at least gets to showcase what I was like talking about there. Alternatively, we could get lots of Vulture Wars. You know, the 3-factory Vulture stuff. Just making only Vultures. It's a simpler TVT build. And like, yeah, I get it. On ladder, it's hard to get TVT games because everyone just leaves. So a lot of people just go with, you know, the simpler build because they don't play the matchup that often. It's like, might as well. Feels bad to grind out your perfect, optimal, long macro game TVT, but never get to use it because every TVT you play on ladder is either non-existent, where they leave, or you get cheesed with 2 barracks proxied across the map or something. Anyway, we're seeing some standard stuff here where they make the barracks a little forward, make a couple Marines, we see 1 or 2. And then they lift off and go across the map to scout. It's very obtuse kind of thinking. From a general point of view. For Starcraft, it's very normal to have floating buildings be scout, but it's like kind of an obtuse concept, being like, yeah, your barracks, that thing you use to make Marines, you use that to scout in this matchup. 1 Marine queued, no Marine queued here. Alright, there we go. The 1 Marine's going. Slightly faster factory for Kiko. Maybe Barks can exploit the 1-second timing window he has here. Oh, the SCV does get in. Scouts that, hey, you're doing the same thing I am. And vice versa across the map. Okay, 1 Marine was made before it lifts off. Yeah, 1 Marine, no, 2 Marines, okay, there we go. 2 Marines is far more effective at dealing with the floating barracks than 1. It's general, like, it's a good number to have. It's generally good, but 1 is fine too. Alright, Vulture being made as expected. You have Vulture. Alright, Command Center on 24, and Command Center at like 21, 22-ish. So, Not sure if the build is just slightly unoptimized or they have a particular timing in mind. Okay, Kiko still has 2 on gas, whereas Barks has 1. You can see that a bit reflected in the money here, where Barks has more money but less gas. Now putting the second one back on the geyser. So it's looking like Barks is pretty optimized here. However, that could change. Yeah, making a tank right away once that was done. Refact. I think Barks is going for the Vulture Man. Yeah, and we see another Vulture being made. So Kiko's gas is fine if he's making this many tanks. Surprisingly queues up another tank instead of getting siege mode, but you know, that's fine. I think that's actually probably for the better. Yeah, the 2 Marines here. Gonna cut this down pretty quick. Sees 3 Vultures, so probably should expect Vulture Man here, yeah. Vulture speed on the way. Adding in a tank, so it's not a full commitment to Vulture Man. Now putting a 3rd one back on gas, so he's not all in it. That's good to see. What you could do around this time, instead of adding this tank, you add in an extra 4th factory. Just full send all the Vultures, go, go. And you'll have a lot of Vultures, that's for sure. Getting mines. Okay, Kiko is going to get across the map here for some aggression. Has mines. You know, that's gonna do you not so good against all these Vultures, but it'll help later. Ooh, a bit of miss micro there. Got a couple extra shots that he didn't need to take on these tanks, but he's winning this aggression. However, there's all those Vultures that were made earlier. They're in the mineral line doing crippling damage. A bit of an exchange here. Barks manages to retrieve most of his SCVs, whereas Kiko's SCVs are just dying here. Oh, if only he'd go up the ramp there, he'd get some big damage. And the mines actually, you know, I said shit about them earlier, but they're denying any sort of push down here. His tanks are straying a little too close to the ramp, so he's taking extra shots. Yeah, those Vultures could have snuck into the main and done game-ending damage, but, you know, you gotta have your priorities in this game. Ooh, the mine's doing work. Actually, I think he doesn't realize he could just go with all the Vultures and win. Yeah, there's those Vultures I was talking about earlier. They're finally in the main. Laid mines in front of the factory, so if any tanks pop out, they'll be done. More importantly, there's these SCVs. And he's spending all his attention here. They do get cleaned up. So, given Kiko's SCV count, this wasn't too terrible. Oh, that mine drag that we just saw. Those mines coming back to bite Kiko. And this is finally cleaned up. They'll go back to mining. Barks has a significantly larger army at this point. He must realize this. Possibly. He saw what Kiko had. Second base still isn't back to mining just yet. So solid advantage for Barks here. Laying mines. Getting his own vultures on the map, but... Oh no. Now there's hardly anything defending. Yeah, bringing them back. Didn't block the ramp enough either, so they're able to get up. They will be all killed off here, so I'd like... Yeah, they're going straight into mineral line. At 3, probably 4. Well, just 3 SCVs, so not so bad for Kiko, considering what potential was there. Oh, tank popped out and did eat to a mine. Thankfully, it exploded the other mine in this instance. Look at Bark's army. That is very robust. The prefect production is constantly going. 4th under the way. Or underway, rather. You know, 1 tank and 8-ish vultures. Against all this, Barks just needs to see his opportunity here and take it. But he knows he's ahead. So, can just calmly and safely do all the things you need to do. Getting Academy for those scanners. Yep, scanners are up. Building. That'll be helpful against potential mines. Okay, going the long way around. The natural's a bit exposed here. Up to 5 factories. So, oh, that's just a depot. Nothing to worry about there. Yeah, taking the long way around is going to hit up the natural. However, Kiko now has a few siege tanks and is ready to defend here. However, if he does get trapped in his natural, that would not be ideal. Oh, vultures taking damage. A lot of free shots from those siege tanks, and almost all the vultures are gone. Bark's vultures tried to go in and take out those siege tanks. It did an okay job. Ooh, bit of friendly fire there. The single Wraith was prepped. There's no Goliaths or SCVs building turrets, so this will eventually stop this. Do we see an armory? No, there's no armory built. So there's going to be 0 Goliaths. Ooh, unsieged tanks get baited and pushed into the siege tanks by the Wraith. A bit of a misstep there. Feels bad. Yeah, just building the CC a bit off-center. This is a bit cute. This needs to be dealt with. The landed barracks was blocking the command center, so the command center just built a bit off-center here. But there is a Marine, and the Wraith is now here, so they're going to delay this. Eco actually building multiple Wraiths. Not building any more just yet. Then there's this problem. There is not much of a ground army. Barks has one. And is really pushing the issue. And mine's going down. Okay, the mine placements were not the greatest, but you gotta do it sometimes. Yeah. Okay, the command center was canceled. In this case, the building should be renamed the Command Off Center. Yeah, that's a really good one. I appreciate it. Okay, Marines taken out. These should probably be canceled. We need the extra money. You know, Kiko keeping this to 2 base versus 2 base is pretty excellent. Because that's a window back into this game, despite being in a losing position for most of it. Retrieve these tanks. Yeah, you can save the damaged tanks and repair them. Goliaths are finally here. And a Wraith, too. Sometimes it's good to just have a single Wraith. It really does put a timer on certain things like drops or whatever that are trying to hide out over cliffs. Forces them to do stuff with it or retreat. Scouting info also helps, as always. Still denying the third base here. Very cheeky. Barks must be feeling a little frustrated at least. If Kiko could get a ground army in a good position here, he could take his third. Yeah, even Vulture's at the bottom of the map here to prevent a potential expand. Okay, these Wraiths clean up the harassment rate. You know, decides, you know, what the hell, takes his third base at the fourth base location. Transferring the SCVs a little early, but you know, sometimes you gotta do it. Okay, yeah, they're floating the command center here. Just needs to clear out this mine. Comm sets are here. With energy, so that'll be good. Now here's the revenge play. There's someone here that doesn't have Goliaths, and it's Kiko. I say that as a Goliath literally walks up the ramp, so as usual, the caster curse is in full effect. The dream was nice, though, having vengeance. But this mine is still delaying this. Just needs to scan it. Did he use both his scans? I think he did. Okay, maybe now's the time to... Maybe don't suicide the Goliath, actually, until your turrets are done. Yeah, suicide the Goliath to clear the mine. Okay, or, you know, turret detection works too. That's kind of, you know, a big selling point of the turret here. I don't know why I was even suggesting throwing away the Goliath when the turret's there. I completely spaced out on having detection. Oops. We all make mistakes here. It is CPL after all. We're all here to get better. Alright, the Wraith. Kiko's Wraiths are back. Continue to be a nuisance. Runs away seeing that he's outgunned. Still not mining here yet, but, you know, when there's 4 tanks preventing you from doing that, that kind of sucks. If someone needed an early SCV transfer, it was Kiko. This 4th base gets to go unpunished. Barks is definitely going to take the lead again. And pushing these out. Easy cleanup. There's only a few tanks here. You know, you could save the Wraiths. That would be nice. Alas not. This is where his attention is being spent, though. Again, this army here, there's only 1 tank. So, being able to... Oh, big mine hit. Being able to sandwich yourself in between these 2 locations might be a good play. You know, split up the Terran army. As Terran, you want to keep your army together. However, you know, concaves are bad. So is losing most of his stuff. Still, the elephant in the room is this 4th base. Kiko's probably feeling good. He finally gets the 3rd base up and running. Despite taking it early, it was not mining. And now it's going to be a 3-base versus 4-base situation very soon. And these tanks still continue to delay this. Wraith, lots of Wraiths being produced here. That's what we need to see. 3 starport Wraith. No control tower for Cloak just yet. Could potentially kill this before the reinforcements get here. However, the reinforcements are here. Sometimes it can be very hard to gauge in the fog of wars when you have an advantage. +1 is done for Barks. We don't see it yet for Kiko. It's almost done. So waiting for that extra damage. Ooh. Is losing these engagements here, and Cloak is done. There must have been... Yeah, it was added. It was added in after I talked about it. So Cloaked Wraith, there's no detection other than the scanners. Looks like Barks has finally secured a good enough foothold to win this. Now 4 base mining. Retreats the Wraiths out when the turret's completed. But now he's really set up such a good position here. It's very hard to get units out of this choke. Well, these are unsieged. That might have been a mistake. If those stayed siege, these 2 tanks would be done. So unfortunate that happened there. Now these Wraiths are going to attempt to overpower this single Goliath. There's lots of Wraiths now with the reinforcements. So these tanks aren't going to be able to do anything anymore. They'll have to retreat back up to the 3rd if they want to live. I'm a bit speechless reading you guys. And Kiko says GG now that Barks has totally secured that position. Well played. It was actually kind of back and forth there. Kiko did a great job staying in the game there. And almost bringing it back even. Delaying Barks for so long. If that 3rd base got mining earlier for Kiko, I wonder how the game would have played out. You'd love to have a tattoo of Leerak bat chesting. I would not love that. Yeah, I got chills, man. 2 gamers playing an esport. Got chills. Don't feel bad about backseating better players. One thing I realized is that even the pro gamers get backseated by dog shit chat advice. And it makes the chat advice you get over here and the backseating, it doesn't feel as bad, you know? Giving suggestions to, you know, high CPL players. It's a little bit of a different universe than telling Sulky certain things, you know? There's commentary. Oh yeah, there's commentary. Why'd you mute it, man? I feel bad now. Why you do this? Well, next game's gonna be on Dominator. All seriousness, no. Yeah, backseating can be a bit annoying. But it is still kind of funny to see it done to the pro gamers on their streamer site. Formerly Afrika, now Soup. Yeah, like getting recommendations from chat. Well played, but have you considered building X unit instead? Light? Okay, game 2. Dominator, let's go, before we get too off track. Okay. In the 3 o'clock, we have Barks, and then the 7, we have Kiko. You know, contain on this map is really bad. By really bad, I mean very harsh to be contained by it. Since it's a low ground main, imagine getting your units up a ramp against siege tanks. It's rough. Since TVT's a bit slower, if an enemy Terran secures that position, it's a big oof. Now, thankfully, we don't have a 15-minute no rush just yet. Okay, SCV building their depots. Barks has this position, so you get the ideal depot location where you can place it here, and the SCVs will pop out closer to the mineral line. So, already working his advantages on this position. What are we building over here? A barracks? Yeah, makes sense. That's a closer location to the base. His opponent. Nothing surprising. Okay, gas on 12. A little bit slower than Barks. We have seen a bit that Barks seems a little more refined. In build order, at least. But Kiko seems pretty crafty. Alright, scouting. A bit later of a scout. You know, get that little bit of extra mineral income. It's a mirror match, so his stuff is your stuff. What he has is something that you have. Meaning you can only have certain things at certain points in the game. So eking out extra income is always good. The risk is if you're getting cheesed or all in, and you might want to see it a little earlier. Alright, going for 2 Marines again. Single Marine? No, actually going for 2 Marines this time as well. Going for 3 Marines. Interesting. I do not know what this means. Might go for a 1 base aggressive push, I think, actually. Yeah, the 3 Marines deny vision, so you don't know if it's going to be a command center or not. That is the main reason, because I think 2 doesn't kill anything in time, but 3 does. He is taking the command center. So Kiko doesn't know if this is an all-in. We know that Barks is expanding. Like, this could have been a 1 base, 2 factory, and siege tanks and, you know, the Marines and the vultures and such. Have been running across the map, but that's not the case here. For add-on. Yeah, they're both going add-on. Second fact added for Barks. None yet so far for Kiko. Kiko having the higher SCV count here. Barks has a small army advantage. So that's the main difference here. Oh, Kiko. For some reason the sound wasn't on. Kiko actually picking off all those Marines. Quite good. That might stall any aggression Barks might have planned. Arguably, running into the main to scout, get info, and kill SCVs may have been the better play there. It can be hard to say. Building a bunker, being a bit defensive here. Maybe he is scared of that one base I was talking about, especially since he is on one factory. No such attack is coming, it's just vultures for now and going up to 3 factories. Looks like it's pretty much the same build as the first game, except going for no vultures and getting into the tank production right away. Okay, it's not the same build. It just, when I see 3 factories making vultures, it makes me think of Vulture Man. It's not the case here. Kiko did make a early Wraith, so very tech-heavy today. It's gonna stop this armory from being made. Already getting some SCV kills, so that's nice. Armory is not made. The damage will continue to mount here. Getting unlucky with the SCVs a bit. If the SCV was swinging out, his buddy could have repaired him. Now the Wraiths are actually starting to really stack up damage here. This might... Oh, this SCV's gonna die, too. And the armory is still not done. The SCV kills are really mounting, and this has become a big problem. Not like he can push in. There's tanks and a bunker. Yeah, the Wraiths have snowballed a little too much with no answer. Been losing minerals. Goliaths are on the way, so they'll finally get this aggression out. But I think you've noticed the SCV count is a little bit of a problem. Or was that starport anyway? Crafty location. He's going to have Cloak soon. So these Wraiths are going to come back with Cloak, and they're going to do the same thing all over again. So we're going to need to see an Academy or an eBay soon in order to stop that. Alternatively, you could just hope the Wraiths don't go Cloak. I think seeing 3 Wraiths, you would want an eBay or an Academy. Like, you'd need it. Because if it's like just like 2 Wraiths, maybe you can cut the corner and be like, I know you're not going Cloak Wraiths. You just have 2 Wraiths. And, you know, that might get you back in the game. That's like kind of a pro-gamer move. You know your opponent and you have the proper info. However, there is Cloak here. There's 4 Wraiths. Yeah. If we don't see one, like, right now, it's gonna be over real quick. No Academy, no eBay. Alright, looks like Kiko's gonna secure this win unless something disastrous happens. Bit curious well, it's fine. It's fine. Never mind. Goliaths are good. They shoot up and down. Another barracks being made. The Wraiths are gonna fly in. Cloak is almost done. Barks, he looked like he wanted to do another wide walk around again. Oh no, you don't want to lose your Wraiths. You've invested a lot in that. Okay, there's the Cloak. And his natural's been taken by these tanks. If the SCVs all run out, doesn't matter though. Barks opts to GG here. Oh, again, Kiko, crafty. This is good. Really snowballed that advantage there. Some good stuff. Really catching Barks with his pants down. Yeah, only one more TVT, guys. They haven't been no rush 15, so it's been not bad. Players have been doing pretty good. Some really good moves on their parts. Now we get to go to Vermeer. So this is a big map, so we might be here a while. No, that's what you want to hear in a TVT. We're gonna be here a while. TVT, DVD video, 60 minutes. I hope you're doing well. Thanks for joining today, guys. On to game 3, the decider. Not a cross position. So this could be a shorter game, potentially. Now we'll get around to casting flash coin whales. I realize I've missed out on them. And also barcode. But I've been trying to follow the players on teams leading into one another kind of idea. Anyway, Kiko in the top right in the blue, bottom right is Barks in the red. Yeah, but yeah, if it was cross spawn, 100% we'd most likely be getting a very long game. Since it's close spawns, you know, not so bad. Ooh. Barks exploiting his knowledge here. He's gonna have his SCV pop out here. Looks like Kiko doesn't know. You can do that. Unless I don't know and you can't do that on this position. But you know, a caster has never said a wrong thing in the history of humanity, right? Surely. Okay, yep. Always doing their barracks to the close position of a potential opponent. Kiko could have placed it over here and floated it this way. But, you know, this is just more ideal in general. Bark's going for the earlier scout, slightly earlier. It doesn't matter, same build so far. Is scouting the wrong way. So Barks will find his opponent first. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's just a depot. Okay. Oh, it really could be. Alright, factory goes down, sees... Hey, you're doing the same thing, Spider-Man pointing meme. But Kiko doesn't know. He is unaware. He's gonna try and hunt down this SCV with Marine SCV. You gonna send that back to mine, or is he really gonna chase it down? No, he sends it back to mine, it seems. Alright, Marine's gonna chase him down. Okay, decides to cross scout here. I think that kind of makes sense. Because if you're doing, like, standard Terran builds, then the timing of his SCV getting to your base and your SCV getting to this base here around the same time, you could make a judgment call and be like, yeah, he's probably here then. The bottom right, if he's not top left. It helps to pay attention to these kinds of things. And there's a lot of them. Alright, not making anything from the factory just yet. Going to put down the command center and a bunker, being very defensive. Is scared, probably, of Vulture Man stuff. Okay. It doesn't look like... Oh. Barks could be doing Vulture Man here. Okay. So this bunker might be good. Another tech build from Kiko here, hiding the starport. So, you know, he got dividends last game, so why not do a similar thing here? Barks adjusting, getting an early armory, saying that could be a thing that happens. And he is going to scout the starport. However, Kiko could just stop making wraiths. Kiko may be seeing the armory soon. Or at least he will with the wraith. As not making any more. Oh, started one. So we'll have to see upon what this scouts if it will cancel or not. Yeah, Barks canceled his third factory. So it's not Vulture Man. So probably upon seeing the bunker, I think, was what helped make that decision. Alright, you need to see the armory there. Oh. Is actually continuing the Wraith production, so this is not looking good for Kiko. However, is ahead in the SCV count once again. I say that, and then Barks catches up. So they're about even here. Oh, is committing to Cloaked Wraith? Armory's already done. However, the race could still snowball. These two Marines, they exist this time, so they actually can kill Wraiths. He doesn't realize this Marine's one shot from death. I'd say Barks is a little ahead here. A little. It all depends on what the Wraiths can get done. Well, a Vulture battle here. Who wins? Take your bets. Red versus blue. Looks like blue wins and then the Goliath finishes him off. The dishonorable man here. What's dishonor? Not letting that duel finish? Or maybe he is honorable and he waited for the duel to finish before taking out the opponent. Certainly, yes, a very brief celebration there. Okay, Wraiths are taking out this barracks. We're going to see Cloaked Wraith, most likely. The control tower is there. But Barks has gone into his own Wraith production. Has 2 starports and Cloaked Wraith. Cloak researching on the way. Wraith count isn't just up there about now, but it will be since it's 2 Wraith versus 1 Wraith production. 3 factory against 2. Okay. No armory for Kiko, though. So there's going to be no support for his Wraiths whatsoever. At least as ComSat, so he may be able to scan find out. Oh, close race finish, and he jumps on these rays. Oh no. Kiko now blindsided with his own tactic. Okay, does at least save one Wraith. However, he knows now. That was arguably maybe not the reveal of your cloaked Wraiths you should have made. As nice as it would feel to get rid of those guys killing your SCV and Vultures here, they aren't doing anything. So maybe just take the L and send them across the map and get your own action in. Okay, Armory's underway right away after seeing Cloaked Wraith. And a factory. F-Cloud, thank you for the resub. Good little mind spread to see move-outs here as well. So map control is in Bark's favor. Tanks are moving out get into a proper position. Probably here. If you get this high ground, that would be nice. By controlling these high grounds, you can really box in your opponent. I would really like to see Kiko take control of that high ground. It's pretty powerful. Wraiths are just scouting around, just seeing if they can catch anything silly. You never know when someone's just gonna dump a sneak base over here. We have seen it before. Okay, the third command center is done, built in main. I'm gonna try and take his third. However, Kiko, his third has been running for a little while now. Just a little bit. Is down in the SCV count a bit, but no, 3 base mining is pretty efficient compared to just 2. Okay, I like this idea. It's like, you didn't take this high ground because you can build a turret here and you can just have these guys chill. It's fine. Okay, action. He's trying to push the issue here. These tanks were not siege, so not getting the dividends they would like, and he did choose to siege the center of the map. Okay, Wraith battle. Not enough Goliaths to support. That Goliath on the ground did get picked off. Okay, here's the Goliaths. They're coming. Stands a little early. We have energy for another scan. Okay, it isn't necessary. It's okay, that was Bark's scan. Took out the last Wraith Kiko. By last, I mean there's another one actually hidden on top of this tank. Ooh, I'm taking a 4th base while this is all going down. So once again, it might be on this taking an early 4th base that will win it for Barks. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Up to 4 factories, 3 add-on, and, you know, 4 factories is less than 5 factories, but he does have 3 add-ons instead of 2. So it means more tank. But it only helps if you're making only tank from these, and that is not the case just yet. Bark's still extending his map control here, getting some pickoffs. Those are some good pickoffs here. He might be able to retake this area. Overextends a little bit, but they're getting their work done. Even baiting a Goliath into a tank line. Laying mines to prevent Kiko's expands. Okay, Kiko's 4th base is underway, but Barks is already mining. Okay, factory count jumping up to 7. You know, 7 beats 4. As much as 3 add-on tank is good, we need more factories. Still making wraiths. Try to stop this 4th from getting up. These tanks need to siege real quick here, otherwise you might be losing this base. Okay, that single wraith that's left over is still doing work. Fortunately, not long for this world. The turret wasn't in range of those tanks, so he might lose. Yeah, he's gonna lose his 4th for now. That needs to get mining again. Uh-oh. It's like Barks has finally secured this high ground position. Ooh. Pico came back with more wraiths, and he's now won the wraith battle. Alright, then Barks decides, if you can do that, so can I. And he's going to further escalate the Wraith War with 3 Starport Wraith instead of just 1 and banking it. He's going to lose this high ground position again. But this 4th base has been delayed a long time. I think that might cost Kiko the game here. So good move on Barks here. Starting a 5th base as well. He has the pressure, however... You can see how big this map is. If he extends too far over here too quickly without the ability to support all these locations, he might be spread a little too thin. He's got a big army, though. Ooh. This Vulture's gonna find out. Just barely sneaking past. He could even kill this SCV. No, not quite. The other fast Vulture is also fast. Turns out, if your Vultures are fast, so are theirs. Okay, Comsat. SCV transfer finally underway. Maybe pulled a few too many from the main here. But you know, that's fine, I guess, in this stage of the game. Not a big deal. This will eventually mine out since they're very low. Still, finally up to 5 factory, but this is, you know, still less than 7. And now this is up to 4 add-ons, so that's a lot of tank. Make tank is a good skill to have. Unironically, I don't mean this in a facetious way. Make tank is good. Really carried me in my early weekdays of Terran. Making tank good. His 3 Starport Wraith didn't actually net him that many Wraiths, but... You know, 6 is good enough when you get the jump on your opponent. Not making more. So just wants a little bit of air control with the Wraith, not fully committing to just mass Wraith. Alright, Kiko wants his high ground, but Barks just has map control nearly the whole game. That might become a huge issue soon, if it isn't already. Okay, we're going up to 6 factories. It's 6 Wraith against 6 Wraith. Some are damaged for Kiko. So, technically the advantage is Barks, but Barks is making 3 more. So, is further escalating the Wraith problem. Okay, double dropship. We're gonna see some dropship play. This could be game-changing. Definitely a good move to do in TVT. A common thing on ladder when you do actually get TVT games is, you know, you get kind of a standoff where everyone's super turtley, and then the first guy to move out on the map just gets doom dropped in his factories by, like, several dropships and a mech army. Very annoying. But you gotta adjust for that. 9 Wraith. Valkyries also, Kiko recognizing that there is a significant Wraith threat. And he wants his dropships to live. Speaking of, where are they and what are they loading with? Nothing just yet. More dropship. Okay, he's building his dropship count. But we really need to get something done with those dropships. That must be the plan here. Since we are boxed in, and look at how overextended Barks is, dropships could really do a huge number on these. Okay, a little surrounded here. This is some concave. And there's the Wraiths and Valkyries. Alright, already getting a turret line here, so that will help against drop defense and whatever else comes from the air, like these Wraiths. Okay, he knows that the Valkyries are here, so... yeah, he shouldn't engage that, he knows. Going up the 6th dropship, it looks like. Wraiths continue to dog each other. Oh, Valkyrie's gonna get picked off here, and that's bad. Actually, say that, but then, you know, the Wraiths do pay for it a little, but only lost 1 damage, so definitely worthwhile trade. And Barks is in the position where he can effectively trade all day. He'd want that. He is such a economic lead. You know, he's got the corner base down here too. Just continue to expand. Even has a small token course here for potentially prevent mining going on there. Where are those dropships? Okay, here they are. Oh. You know, that's not the Doom drop I was thinking of when this has SCVs in it. So it looks like he just wants to not Doom drop anything, but shuttle over units into a secure position up here in the top left, bypassing the contain. We're gonna see no dropships for Barks. So you know what? That's a amusing move. Already just starts immediate factory count here. It's a reasonably good solution. You know, if you're not confident, especially like, look at this. This is like blocking, and he drops from there. So the only way you could get your drops through this contain, you would have to go all the way around anyway. And still potentially get caught because there's a Wraith force. So, you know, this is a very safe play that's actually going to keep him in the game here. Maybe upon seeing that, Barks is going to... oh, he's just adding turrets everywhere. But yeah, once you start getting into later game TVT, you just spam turrets everywhere. Helps against Wraiths, dropships, whatever, battle cruisers, you name it. Doesn't even take this base. He's like, you know what? Just turrets here is fine. They continue to scan each other in the stalemate. Yeah, he's just building turrets everywhere. I want to see. Where is your science facility? There it is. Okay, getting air weapons. So are we going to see a physics lab soon and have Barks trade out armies slowly? Okay, here we go. Push here. There's not enough here for Pico to stop this, and Barks is going to claim this high ground. Did lose most of the race, though. Not remaking. I want to see if we're going to get big battle cruisers. Even, you know, getting the factories, even making another command center, adding another starport, is Kiko going to go into battle cruisers? And the answer is yes. And that might be Kiko's ticket to make this into a very long TVT indeed. Okay, the wraiths are all cleaned up. No more being made. I say that, but... Okay, that's just a... They're just dropship. Okay, dropship and wraiths. Alright, still. Yeah, Kiko's going to battle cruisers. Ooh, Embarks was losing this position. Oh, but, you know, losing Valkyries for free is never good. Okay, does get the scan down. These wraiths will go down yet again. Nope. No air upgrades on the way for Kiko. Probably forgotten about. Okay, there's air plating, it looks like. No, is that air plating or ground armor? Yeah, that was air plating, actually. Okay, air weapons, air plating on the way. Not much else going on. Barks gives up. That's very anticlimactic. May have... Maybe he had to go. You know? Like, given his position, I'd still say this is very Barks favored. Like, he may have just had to go, and that could be, you know, just the way it is. You know, TVT's long. We have things to do after all. And, you know, seeing how that game would have dragged on a very long time with the battle cruisers in play. So, you know, looking at it, maybe I only have 10 minutes more to play the game. Gotta tap out. Alternatively, it could just be, this game's bullshit, why can't I kill him? I'm out of here. We'll never know. Or at least I won't. Unless I ask him. But who needs facts and logic, you know? We need sensationalism. And memes. That's what the internet's made for. Anyway, last one's gonna be a TVP. So we're gonna get our infamous Terran versus Protoss on Eclipse. Joyous. Well, sarcastic joyous if you're Terran, joyous if you're Protoss. At least if you believe what people say about the map, at any rate. Alright, underway here. Let's go. Top right, we have Razz. Bottom left, we have Radle. RadleYong? Let's go with Radle. Interesting. Tell me more about this new mouse. Hmm. Ah, very good. Well, certainly having good equipment to play video game is helpful, but it isn't the be-all end-all. You need to actually control it. I'm curious about this mouse lore now. So, Rattle's acceleration is messed up, allegedly. You know, he's getting the excuses out of the way. Classic Artosis moment right there. Or, yeah, exactly right. It could be mind games. He's playing at peak performance and he wants you to think that he's actually handicapped. Alright, going for gate opener here. Like he's playing against Zerg. You know, having a Wallen is nice against vultures, so it'll do. Very late barracks. Already getting gas, but it is Eclipse. So some Terrans do decide to get the gas just here as fast as possible just because it's Eclipse and it can get gas stolen immediately. Which, you know, fair enough. You gotta do what you gotta do on this map. Zealots on the way to cause problems. I'm kind of surprised since it isn't this map we didn't get the hilarious 2 gateways proxied here, or 2 gateways proxied here, or 2 gateways proxied here, 2 gateways proxied here. The probe is dying to this SCP. But you get my meaning. There's lots of locations of 2 gates proxied here. Lots of locations where you can proxy 2 gate this map. Here he comes. The Wide Walker himself. He's getting buy block with the SCVs rather well. Okay, micros through the Sim City. We should fend this off well enough, but the factory's a bit out there. Doesn't lose the SCV, so this will get up. If left to its own devices, this SCV will eventually kill that. Oh, he's not paying attention here. Or he was and was just hoping that the Zealot died a little quicker. Alright, Zealot's retreating. Vulture and Marine gonna chase it out. Dragoon range is on the way. Okay, we'll see a Nexus here real quick. SCV's dealt with. Vulture gonna scout around for stuff. There could be, you know, proxied stuff across the map here. You never know with Protoss. They can just dump something somewhere you wouldn't expect, and all of a sudden, invisible men are in your base. I think you can actually put gateways here, and the Terran won't see. I think this is just out of range, so this is also another location. Anyway, enough about that. These Marines are getting their asses beat. No bunker was made, or rather, it wasn't finished. So now the Protoss gets to just do this. More goons on the way. Oh, this command center might be delayed further. Actually, this Dragoon is low enough that it might die. Oh. Actually gets away, sadly, somehow. Miscontrol on that damage vulture, so Oh no. Sacrifices the 4 HP Goon for the mine, you know? That's a good trade. You're not confident in that micro in that position. Just throw that 4 HP Goon away. It was gonna die anyhow. And he gets to delay the command center, and P-Clips is living up to its name. Radle going for a sneak third base. Gets lucky with those Goon shots uphill, too. Nothing is going right for Terran right now. Getting vulture speed instead of siege mode, that might be a mistake. Russ knows that there's a mine or two there. Tier 0 is good. We saw some excellent games last week. Well, and all the Dragoons are dealt with by the mine, so that must feel much better for Radle. Ross is going to go take his third. Now, this sneaky third base actually might be the winning move here. Like, suddenly Terran has godlike economy very quickly and Protoss doesn't realize. It's gonna be a big deal, but if this is caught, I think Radle's out of here. So it's gonna hinge on that, and we're gonna get our classic Shuttle Reaver. And the Shuttle Reaver might just path over this and see it when going around the map. Common pattern for shuttles, dropships, overlords is to, like, go around the edge of the map. Well, stuff is happening. They're going for a push now. A small amount of units, but there isn't much here to defend. Just 3 Dragoons, 2 Zealots on the way. But that Reaver, once it's out, can do something about this, so it depends if this gets up or not. Second probe going out to maybe make a 4th base. Ooh. Well, those mines might take all those tanks. Oh, takes out 1 with the friendly fire. I feel that. There's 1 Marine, but he's not in the bunker, and the tank dies. Get in the bunker. It's 1 Marine in the bunker at least, but that's a Reaver. It can outrange a bunker. I don't think this aggression was the play. Especially when you snuck a 3rd base. However, you know, mind games are a thing, so maybe Razz is going to be overconfident from you. That can happen, where you think the game is in a state that it actually isn't. Because if this is 2 base Terran, I'd be feeling amazing here as Protoss. Be like, yeah, he's done so. He don't got shit. But actually, we have this. The longer this goes, worse it gets. Not all of these are mining. Get those to mining. Oh, and as I said, the shuttle's actually going to find this. Speed shuttle does kick in. Oh, poor Marine gets taken out. But it's just the Reaver here. You know, Reaver might go's pretty good, or pretty strong potentially. So this might get fought off. However, the Dragoons are the big issue here. Combined with the Reaver, this is gonna be a bit dangerous. This gets broken. They're Reaver in the back here. Oh, it gets sniped, but there's enough Dragoons here. Nothing in the bunker. No other units to help defend. Only 2 factories. Could have used a couple more, and it looks like that might be it from here, because this is what was keeping him in the game. Now that it's gone. All looking good. Alright, GG's called. Okay. You know what? You could say a lot of that is potentially the power of Eclipse in that matchup. As Terran, you're thinking, man, that map against Protoss. And you'd be probably going into that expecting it to be an uphill battle and things to not go your way, so I imagine when Terrans play on that, they aren't too rattled when that result occurs. Good work on Protoss, doing some nice aggression to take advantage of things. And good on checking that third base location as well. If that went unscouted and he just goes straight to the natural, could have been completely different there. Scouting is very important. And CPL players have been showing they've been pretty good. Pretty good at scouting, finding things out. It's been pretty impressive overall. Alright, next is Dominator.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Words to live by. The top we have Radle. And in the side here, 3 o'clock, we have Razz. When they start out here, it looks so weird because it's like kind of really in the corner, but the base is more like over in this area than the corner. Okay. So, what's the plan now here? I think Radle, you know, he's probably going to do somewhat similar thing. I'm unsure about this depot location. I don't have enough experience with Terran on this map. But yeah, I think Radle is just going to try and play his game. Now that he's not on Eclipse, we're going to see. Just, you know, play my game. I'm confident in it. We'll be good to go. Question is what Razz does. Looks like he's just going to do some, like, normal-looking things so far. Does get his first scout off. Alright, there's the gas steal. Always annoying for Terran, and Protoss can just walk in, delay your factory by taking that out. Going to be annoying with the Pro by hitting the SCV building the barracks. Question is, are we gonna see a Zealot, or are we gonna go straight into making the Cyber Core? No, we're making a Zealot. Okay. The delayed factory Zealot aggression is pretty potent. Means no Vulture for a while. I think if this wasn't stolen, he wouldn't make the Zealot, and he'd just go straight into Cyber Core and get Dragoons when that's done. That's a pretty common thing to happen. The gas steal, it's like, hey, why not? Let's get these wide walkers in here. Let him go. I'll follow up with another Zealot and then gonna take a Nexus. Making another depot here. He's really going to make a little nook for himself. And a bunker, okay, then I'm unsure of this depot now. I'm not unsure, because this is... Yeah, that's good. However, your main is exposed still. I think he wanted to get his barracks landed here, and that would seal it off. It does kill the assimilator. There's a zealot here. A soon to be a second. And a third. Or the Marines just run around desperate to survive. However, he hit all the Marines in a different order, so they all live. That's a lot of extra damage. This guy only gets to kill one of them, maybe two. Only one of them. Doesn't even get damage on this guy. So I think Terran's feeling pretty happy about that. And a third Zealot was made, so this was like wasted money. No gas, so not even a cyber core just yet. So Proas is behind in tech. Really hoping to get that Zealot damage to snowball. By behind in tech, not really, because there's still no factory, just starting now. Good defense from Terran. Going for an academy early. Fearful of a potential Dark Templar Invisible Man. Behind this, Razz has taken a third. He knows the factory's late, so he can do this. Still making zealots. You know, might as well, I guess. For me personally, I would have gotten a forge just for something, because I feel like these zealots wouldn't do anything, but that would be my personal choice. I don't think this is necessarily that bad, especially since now the factory is just getting that vulture started. So these bad boys I was shit-talking could do some good work here. This SEV might scout the third. Just have to wait on that one. In we go. That's a lot of Marines. Maybe over-making them a bit? Alright, good SCV block. These Zealots not doing all that much. Losing two of them. This guy's gonna die to the Vulture chasing him down. Unfortunate. They came a little earlier. That could potentially have done something. Okay, here. It was actually an all-in. So we're gonna see a tank Marine all-in here. Now, as Protoss, you saw 7 Marines. Or you can infer there's 6 to 7 Marines, because there's a lot of shots from the bunker. Plus you saw 3 more in a Vulture. Just getting that goon production done right now. Now, considering how this is a Marine barracks all-in, and Razz has gotten a third base, this is looking good for Radle all of a sudden. Because there's, you know, not much of anything here. Oh, look, 2 Dragoons, but, you know, Stim Marine DPS is insane. And he's going to get a bunker at the top of the ramp. Dragoon shooting up a ramp is just never going to work against this. So these Marines, very nice surprise trick here. He's getting his tanks. I say this is all in, but with the game state as it is, he doesn't have to. Like, he can just continue on getting an armory and such. Yeah, we want to micro our Vulture here. Though, looking at the state here, you kind of wish it was more of a committed all-in. Because now the Dragoon production is really kicking in. This bunker is gonna get got. Medic is picked off. Velt's gonna die here. Armory underway. Still making Marines. This isn't great for Protoss. He did lose his natural. So it's like, it's not terrible, but it's not great. Terran's in a better spot. For the most part. But, like, from what we saw, if it was a committed all-in, Razz would have been dead. No question. But, you know, as a tempo play, that was great. You're getting his 3rd command center in base, still only has 2 factories. If you're going for 3rd command center, we won't see the other ones for a little later. Sieging tanks for Reaver defense. Here comes that shuttle Reaver. Already a few turrets. It's gonna die, and it starts up another one. Guess to see, there is a single tank here. Perhaps had time to have more units to defend rather than that being there, but this is fun. More importantly is that this Scarab connects. It did, but it mostly just splashed. So not a proper connection there. Oh! Targets the random Marine that was just standing there minding his own business. What did he ever do to you? The SCVs are quite thankful that happened. Okay, looks like Shuttle's gonna get out. Reaver survives. Rip Marine number 37. He took one for the team. Only 2 SCVs were lost there. Only 1, actually, because the other kill was on the turret. Our Dragoons moving across the map. Oh, some action here. Oh, this CC a little exposed. It's like Radle wants to take this position. I personally hate this position. That's a 4th base kind of location. Alright, Dragoons pushing in. These tanks, you know, a little exposed. That's a lot of Dragoons, and they're gonna kill most of these tanks. Reaver dies, but there's 2 tanks left. Oh, that gets a final volley and does goon juice all these guys. But now we're down to the 2 tanks that were just made. Good counterattack there. The command center should live. You guys should pull back. This is a little greedy. You don't need to be wasteful. Now, wants to just fight the vultures as he retreats. No, change his mind, just retreats. Probe count is really starting to catch up now. More gates being added. Now, this map can be a bit tricky for Protoss because of the limited space for gateway count. Certain stages of the game. You know, when Terran gets certain positions and bottlenecks all of Protoss's production in this one place, it really sucks for them. Anyway, 4th base being taken. Vultures scouted out. Reaver potentially killed 2 SCVs there, or maybe just 1, killing a building. Well, Dragoon's caught out a bit. They're gonna fight. 2 You kill a tank for their trouble, but they're eating mines. It's not something you want to have for breakfast, let me tell you. A good Reaver micro, killing the tanks, but we're down to 2 Dragoons, and the Reaver dies, so we're down to 1 Dragoon. Down to 0 Dragoons. Excuse me. So very good exchange for Terran right there, overall. Reaver continuing to do work here. So another one is made. 4th base is done. See a probe transfer to or soon, most likely. We have speed. Okay, we're up to 5 factories now. Just kidding, 7. 6 currently operational. 2 add-ons. It's taking a 4th base up here. No, not bad. As more mines keep connecting with these Dragoons, they're out on the map with no observer. Now, still hasn't made any observers, it seems. There might have been one earlier that I missed. Just doing only Reavers. There's the observer. Realized I did see one. I was thinking about it. But we have a very low observer count. Good Scarab connection there. Terran is not set up and he's pushing the issue. Well, this Terran army is gonna get mostly cleaned up once these Dragoons get up onto the high ground. Pending these mine connections. Ooh. That was close. Looks like Cross is the winner here this time. That mine connected, all these goons would have gone bye-bye. I say that as another Dragoon dies to mines. Right. Here we go. Only gets 1. Oh, 2 more. Not terrible. Vulture's trying to jump over, but failed to do so, so they're just hitting the pylon. Spend your attention where it's needed. They did get this base up and running. That's good. Let's say this Reaver's cleaning up those Vultures, so no worries as more pylons are made. You're not getting in here. A drop would ruin this base, however. There's no defenses here. A small Vulture drop would have ended this. Instead, we just get Vultures kind of poking in, finding out what's going on. This 4th base is finally gonna start mining. This was like built 4 minutes ago or something. These minerals are still fresh, nothing been done with them. The Terran is pushing here. This is a problem for pros. Again, here are the gateways. And they have to do this whole U-turn to get out here. So this is a very good position for Terran. It's going to be hard for Pross to break this, so he's going to need to set up a proper surround to get rid of this. In the meantime, he did drop with Reavers and shuttles here that I mostly missed, and this 4th base is going to go down as it's not lifted until the last minute. This could burn down in time. No, it's fine, it's fine. Unless it just stays there. I was thinking I would move. Okay, no, these Reavers, they're gonna walk of shame out of here. Not even gonna turn around to get a final shot. That's okay. They did significant damage. Almost killed this base. I think no, STV's worst save. And here comes the engagement here. Looks like he banked up enough units, and there's not enough reinforcements here to support this, so it looks like Cross will clear this. It's very good for him. Maybe blocked his Nexus placement here, or just for vision or something. Taking a sneaky base over here, this is a little dirty. That's Terran's property, if you would have to believe standard expansion locations. Okay, Terran's taking his base here. Protoss knows pylon's in the way. The SCV count is a little too high. He could have a much larger army. But it doesn't really matter because he isn't, you know, at max supply. But it will matter later. Supply block that he got from losing this base hasn't really been dealt with. So you're gonna need more depots soon. Yeah, just supply blocked for days here. Even up to 8 factories. Okay. Blocking this base as well. Oh, he's gonna be surprised when he finds this and there's a bunch of cannons. Ooh, drops are gonna find this base. This base is gonna be canceled. That must feel bad. Not even canceled, was destroyed. So even worse. Okay, still not going into higher tech. Oh, there's the Templars, so never mind. Finally gonna get Templar shuttles into this gateway composition. They do try to jump in here to kill an armory, but this army is going to live. Some comment about budget recalls should have spent the extra money to get the real deal. Budget recalls can work quite well, however. Oh, blocking this just in time, so Cross can't just walk into this base. I say that as the Zealots literally just do that, which is not walled completely off. But we'll block the Dragoons, and that does help. So, most of those Zealots that walked up just ended up dying as I accidentally scroll across the screen. It looks like this base was found out at some point. This cannon is damaged. Main soon to mine out. Natural already mined out, so these should transfer somewhere. Probably this base, since this one isn't running yet. Maybe kill this pylon at some point. Alright, setting up cannons to block and stop these mines. Cannons to block mines, what are you talking about? Cannons to kill the mines that were blocking this. It's like he's fishing for another engage, but these tanks are still in position and reinforcements are here. Oh, the drops are doing good, so this will actually be cleaned up. So another good engage for Protoss here. Careful not to overextend. This is kind of a big concave on your units. He's got his own reinforcements as they get hit by a mine. This is definitely a retreat kind of scenario. Bit of miscontrol there as well. happens. Okay, 4th is done. Gotta get that mining. And Protoss needs to get his own expand. He's actually running dry himself. Oh, and he's running dry, and Terran's actually securing this position. If he loses this, he'll have no more money. So all those all going down, you know, Radle got part of his army across the map, and GG's called. He was not aware of that going across the map to that position. He couldn't secure a proper 5th as this was taken out. So, you know, well played by Radle. The SCV count was a little high, that's true. But when you're supply blocked below max, does it matter that much? I mean, a little, yeah. It's not ideal. But it's better to have too many SCVs than not enough. That's what counts. That evens it up, so we're gonna go for the tiebreaker on Vermeer. I vaguely remember an SC2 Pro doing that with 100 SCVs, but it sounds familiar, but I don't know. It was TY. Okay, yeah. Alright, on to Vermeer. If it's cross map, we could again get a really long one. We almost had a really long one in that TVT, but it was sadly cut short. Here we go. So we have the bottom right, Radle, and the bottom left, we have Razz. It's still Vermeer, though. Could go way long, regardless of cross-map or not. Just, I think you can tell by these distances, like, you know, that's pretty short, and then you go, whoa! To the top corner, and all of a sudden, it's massive. No, you don't get a foot long. I'm sorry. Alright. Razz putting a pylon here. Not pylon scouting. Just go back to mine. Depot over here. Nothing to see. Maybe, though, Razz has it in his head that Radle will just do random bio attacks on him. That might scare him. You know, if you get in your opponent's head, it could be a huge deal. Like, the CPL players do know each other, so they will get kind of familiar with their play styles here and there. Maybe they lean into mind games a little too much sometimes, but it'll happen when you're facing down that same guy you've seen before for the 5th time. Okay, going for Cybercore and Zealot here. has not scouted just yet. This is a reasonable Sim City here to defend against potential aggression. So they're both fearful of, maybe not both fearful, but Terran's certainly fearful of potential garbage thrown at him. Okay, Zealot is probably going to walk over here because his probe is up here. It's simple math, really. Nothing special. Okay, looks like Radle is going to cross scout because of the probe timing, I think. Okay, yeah, Zealot gets here, but the factory's almost done. Despite the Sim City, the Marine is a little later, and it's, you know, that's fine. Get a little bit of payoff since you had no aggression to worry about. Second one is done. The SCV does die before it finishes. Yeah, you better get that finish. It was just about done. Second, oh, it's a Dragoon. The Dragoon's already here. He did go for the earlier Cyber Core. So this actually is pretty big. This could do a lot of damage, but the Zealot is weak and it goes down. Probe also. This Dragoon gets surrounded. Okay, this is fine. Dragoon surrounded, aggression thwarted. The Dragoon is able to freely kite around, and then the Dragoon count starts to build up. Then it gets bad for Terran. But if the surround occurs with the SCVs, then it's fine. However, the Dragoon decides, you know, he's gonna keep pressuring. You know, this is maybe a bit forward the SCVs. He's not sending more Dragoons. It's just gonna hang out here. Does get surrounded. Lets it out for some reason. I swear if it kills the bunker SCV, oh my god. A little bit of a misplay from Radle there. That would be frustrating. Then another Dragoon goes across the map. So I guess Razz maybe intended to rally it, but it didn't go. Maybe it got blocked and decided to just derp out. Or maybe it was intentional. I have no way of knowing. Yeah, this is fine for both. Nothing too catastrophic has occurred, really. Or maybe we want to start our infrastructure and tech here for Rattles. It's loading a bit. Another gate being added. We'll see their Robo support bay. Razz will do another Reaver. Oh, he's busy right now dealing with this push out. That was to ward him off. No support bay, getting to 3 gates and observatories. They're not going for Reapers right away this time. Well, Terran getting his natural gas. Second factory started. Okay, we're doing all right on both sides for the most part. A bit of a janky early game for both of them, but, you know, it evened out. Vulture just kind of chilling out here. Checking his third base for potential somethings. Maybe a Zealot was hidden there to prevent a third being built or something. Or some weird tech. You never know. It could be some weird robo push being set up in this base. So it's always good to check. Alright, Dragoon count continues to build. There's the Observer, 3 Goon and Observer. This makes me think we're playing PvP almost with this setup. Okay, mine's a random base because, you know, sneak bases are bad. We don't like them here. Assuming they're against you, of course. Sneak bases, always a good desperation move if you are behind. But very dirty if it was your plan from the start. Anyway, Radle should figure that the third base is being taken here, considering what the mine could see. They do have a small range, as you can see here, so they see stuff. It's good for info. Armory. Observer already on top of the factories, so he knows what's happening. Kills that stray vulture from before. A Citadel. So no Reaver Man today. The Citadel gets scanned, so that's good. Good intel for the Terran. So he knows that potential Templar tech is on the way, which means it could eventually lead into Arbiter. But maybe not. Have to get, you know, Stargate confirmation and Tribunal as well for the 100%. Right, engagement going down here. Terran gets caught out, and this is what happens to all the Terrans. They go to get pushed out, and then they get got by the Terror or the Protoss that was aware of the push out the whole time. Does eat a mine there, despite the Observer. Does happen. Observer survives with 1 health, but that's a typical happenstance due to how math works. So it isn't just luck that it survived with 1. Turret versus Observer. This is how it often goes. As the Observer doesn't have an attack, it will run away from the missiles being shot at it. Dragoon's going down to the Vultures here. Factory count's starting to kick in here. Protoss is aware. He's not really mining here, and a random vulture that was scouting around a map does catch them. Already getting 2 probes, gonna get 3. And even escape. Denying mining time too. But not even gonna escape, he's just kinda chill here. Well, he did his duty. More vultures now looking for that probe transfer back. Very clever move there. Unfortunately, the whole Protoss army was there to cover, so only gets a few and loses most of the vultures. So good moves on both sides here. Radle for doing that kind of 1-2 punch, and Razz recognizing it a bit and covering the transfer. Up to 6 factories now. These 2 tanks being blocked by this 1 SCV, so they're kind of having a hard time figuring out how to get out of this maze. This guy's really struggling. Protoss trying to take this base now, but the mine is delaying it. Third base being built? Okay, yeah, the math on the observer versus the turret is that, like, if the observer... Or rather... The observer isn't directly, like, on top of the... on the turret. When it's attacked, it will just run away, because it has no attacks of its own. So if it isn't, like, directly on top without exploiting the whole turret can't shoot up bug, we won't get into that. It will just run away, and it will always survive with 1 health. So that's why it isn't luck that it survives with 1 health. So that's why if you build a turret, like, underneath an observer and isn't, like, really close, it will just run away and survive regardless. You need a little extra damage. So that's kind of frustrating for Terran, where they can spot the invisible guy right there, but if you don't have any proper anti-air, the 1 turret won't do it. He's gonna get his 3rd set up. Protoss' 4th is just finishing now, so we're looking for a probe transfer. Probe count looking a bit low here. Templar Tech and Stargate has started. Storm underway. There's the Arbiter Tribunal. So there we go. We're gonna have Arbiters, so it's up to Radle to discover this. Just mines. I guess one thing to consider, since the Protoss probe count is a bit low, this army is actually much bigger than you would think. This is a very large Protoss army, since the probe count is lower. That's a classic Gateway Man staple. Yeah, if you put some, like, realistic physics into it, that bug does all of a sudden make sense, and maybe it's not a bug or exploit. Alright, taking a base up here, double expanding, finally. And he's gonna get his gateway count started in the top left. He's kind of just rolling around the map, denying control for now. These vultures coming in to stop these probes. They get a few, but they're all gonna die. This wasn't super saturated to begin with, so I don't think many probes died at all. But, you know, kind of catching some Dragoons with these random mines. Always good. Random Goliaths do find this. It must have been scanned or spotted by units. It does survive with 1 hit away, but there is a turret here. There was no vision, so the turret couldn't shoot it. Now all these SCVs died. That must feel so bad. If this barracks was just a bit over here, this mispositioned floating barracks cost him so much. That is very frustrating. Just barely got through. Now, with Protoss being a little uncontested here in this gateway count, you know, gonna go up soon here, I think Protoss is poised to take this, but you know, we still have all these factories. It's a lot of Terran units. He's waiting for his max out to push, I imagine. Yeah, he's got the 2-1. Arbiters are here. So a 2-1 max Terran army is definitely a very strong thing. Okay, vultures being passed. They do kill the pylon. So these cannons can't do anything. Power's back on, however. I still think 5... I was gonna say, I still think 5 vultures beats 1 cannon. Assuming the weak ones aren't targeted. But these finish, so the pullback is probably the better call. Random Dark Templar or High Templar, they're getting got by a mine. I think it was a High Templar. Didn't quite see, just heard the death noise, which they have the same. Meanwhile, here's the push. Lots of Dragoons dying here. Not in a great position, so a lot of them die on the retreat. Yeah, these guys are just pumping. We're pumping. We gotta go. Okay, if he organizes a little better surround here, this could be great for him. Like, you know, get them at his natural, the 3rd, and up here. Get a good surround when Terran pushes in. Instead, he's trying to fight, perhaps posture near the high ground. Losing a lot of random stray units. A little sad here. Now this is a lot of tanks. Ross may be in some trouble here. And there's still mines in front of this base, so these gateways up here are gonna run into trouble trying to help defend. He's taking another corner base. Getting those gateways up there. Right, looks like he's going for a counterattack. You know, deny the 4th base. Instead of trying to deal with this nonsense. Well, that's good too. Okay, retreated the probes at the natural, so might kill this 4th base. Oh, it's gonna live. Another drop here. Gets the storm off. Huge value, 7 kills. Many are like very red. So a follow-up storm would do a lot of damage. Okay, invisible men. Okay, doing this clever little trick that pros like to do is you can stasis units on the ramp to prevent guys going up and down. So stasising his own units prevents Terran from entering his main base here. Stasis lasts a long time. Meanwhile, he'll continue to get his units going in these locations. Looks like the science vessel is looking to EMP these guys. Oh, they're stacked up. They could get EMP'd. Uh-oh. This could be bad. There's an attack going on in the middle of the map that I missed part of. Hey, just fight. It's fine. Yeah, we're good. Does just lose the Arbiters, the Goliaths, not even an EMP, so that is depressing. Looks like the multitask is getting a little taxing for both players. Looks like Terran's in a really good position from here, however. Does secure a new 4th. This will get mining soon. And he's getting into the main. So Bruss will have to rebuild all this tech. He's gonna lose all these probes too, which is never good. Waiting for this mine to trigger on something. It's so close. Now let's see what tech is being rebuilt. The Templar Archive, Cybercore. Probably want your Tribunal real quick, too. Unless you're done with that tech. I'm done playing with you. Okay, gets a recall here at the 4th base. This is good. If Terran's stuck with this little bit of mining, you can eventually starve them out. And that might be the winning play here. So, very good move there. Like to see it. Is just barely gonna retake this 4th base location, so we're gonna have to go, you know, ping pong that around, but there is an issue here, and that is the Terran has a massive army, and Protoss might not be able to deal with it. Even sending a token force here to scout out what's going on at the top right. They're now 3-2, so great upgrades. Okay, that recalled force is now going to take out the 3rd, so Terran will be not mining for a bit. These SCVs can transfer up here and be okay. You don't want to lose your science vessels. You need those for Invisible Men, Dark Templars. Random Dark Templars can do soul-crushing damage if you don't have the multitask to keep up with the small windows the comsats are available. But looks like Terran has this. Even this base is going to go down. And not able to commit any more damage, but good moves from Protoss to almost get back in the game. Oh, then the gateways. Some of the gateways are unpowered. Only other ones over here. Looks like this is it. Well played series, actually. Radle probably feeling good after that Eclipse loss at the start. Perhaps Razz not realizing the 4th base. Okay, there it is. GG's called. You know, fairly good. I like it. Good job on the players. Doing lots of good work there. Well, that means... Well, yeah, that means Supply Block Party did win Week 5 in Tier 0. But Radle put a point on the board for name didn't make. Or team name didn't make, rather. Yeah, I like how back and forth it was. Some good moves. The surprise aggression from the random Academy bio push that looked like an all-in but wasn't. It probably should have been an all-in, but, you know, sometimes you don't have all your pieces together and you just have to go with what you're dealt with. Yeah, GG's. Okay, thanks for tuning in, guys. Appreciate it. Alright, I'm off. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah, see you guys later. I'll be back next week sometime. Doing my usual stream stuff. Could be anything at this point. But yeah, have yourselves a good weekend.